All right, let's move on to the second project. Now my second project, the one that I designed for the tutorial bundle, is a fun fold. And I've done some of the steps ahead again so that I don't keep you all night long here. But this is a great card. I just love it. Before I show you that, I just want to point out this gorgeous, the Harvest Meadow, is that what it's called? Harvest Meadow paper. The name is on the back. It's the Harvest Meadow Suite, but sometimes they name the papers differently. Yeah, it's Harvest Meadow paper. Beautiful, subtle, just lovely paper, right? These patterns. This side, these are my favorite sides, but I like the other sides too. Bold, totally different. Haven't yet played with these bold patterns, but they're also super fun. And several people use these papers in the tutorial bundle projects. Now the other thing that's part of this suite that I love, and I have not used yet, is this gorgeous cork paper. There was one design that I almost chose to make tonight that used the cork paper, but you know, went in favor of the pumpkins to do something a little bit different. So anyway, just what things you have to look forward to. So has anybody out there used the cork paper? You could comment and tell us how it is to work with. I think it's a little bit delicate. That's my impression. All right, let's move on to the other project. Get myself set up here. Okay, so as I said, this is a fun fold. We're starting with a piece of cardstock. Yes, Kimmy, I was thinking about you. I know this paper's right up your style, up your alley. The Harvest Meadow. It's mine too. So you love the cork paper, Jan? Have you used it? How do you feel about working with it? Is it easy to work with? Can you cut it? Anyway, just curious. I saw something just recently with the cork where somebody stamped on it, and it looked really pretty. I think in the black maybe. Anyway, so this is my card body, and it's 5.5 by 11. Written the dimensions right there, scored as follows. Now, because these are Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle projects, I do not include the dimensions in my blog posts. So that's kind of important. You'll be able to figure out the spacing knowing the scoring details. So, word to the wise, giving you a hint. So what we're going to start with, pieces. And I've got them all set up, you know. Like I said, I kind of aim to please. I don't want to have you guys sitting around waiting for me putting adhesive on things, especially for a project like this where it would take a long time because there's a lot of pieces. So I've got my Misty Moonlight piece for the inside, the very inside. This panel here on the inside as well. And then this panel gets Misty Moonlight as well, because that's going to actually fold over and be showing on the front. I didn't show you the project, did I? I should do that. I'm going to attach these last few pieces, and then I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I'm going to show you where we're going, because I generally like to know where I'm going when I'm watching somebody show a project. All right, let's get this last one on here. And so here we go. I actually like the one I'm going to show today even better, the focal piece element. So this is my card. Use the image from that stamp set, and it folds open like that. Isn't that fun? All those beautiful papers with the Misty Moonlight in behind. So it folds just like that. You could actually open it just like that too if you wanted to, but on the inside, of course, I've got that die cut piece, so you miss out if you don't do it the whole way. So there's what we're making. Just in case you were curious, there was a little sneak peek, of course, in the event page, a nice little close-up of the sentiment. Didn't want to give you too much detail. Keep you guessing a little bit. All right, so let's grab our other pieces. I've got Misty Moonlight again for this panel, and this one, and now I have to remember which order I did. Okay, yeah, this one. This piece right here, and then this one is going to show on the outside when it's folded shut, so you can see it right there. But the one right on the inside is sort of hidden until you open it up, so it's a little bit of a surprise, which is kind of fun. And there's my last piece. Okay, there we go. And then, now for my die cut piece, I like to call this wheatgrass. I don't know, it looks like wheat, in the, fields in Kansas. I've got some glue dots already on the back side. Now this is pretty small shape, our piece, so I had to kind of roll them up. That just means it pops up a little bit more, which I think is great. So this is going to go right here on the left. Now, the one thing to pay attention to when you do this is, I'm going to point something out to you. When it's shut, where am I? When it's shut, okay, you can't even tell because I don't have my front piece on. I should wait to do that. I'll wait to do it. So I'm going to just point out right here. You don't see the this die cut on the outside. When I first did it, it was poking up. And it's like, no, it just doesn't look right. Kind of messy. So I did it in such a way that it wouldn't stick up. But I have to have my front focal piece on there to know what I'm dealing with in terms of spacing. So we're going to hold off on that step for just 1 second. All right, now on the inside, I have stamped I like to call it a splotchy image. It's from the Harvest Meadow set. It's like, I looked at it and I just look at it and go, what was that for? So it ended up just being a nice little framing. I'm using my crumb cake again, crumb cake ink, around the outside edges. I have to put down a piece of paper again, keep my work surface clean. That's really makes me happy when I do that. So I'm doing, okay, I did what you're not supposed to do. I did full inking, and then I did a second one, and you got the residual because it was off the side of the page. So I'm going to stamp off. And when I did this, I actually stamped off all the images. But since I did full inking on this one, I got to do some full inking in other spots, and it will be fine. But you see, when I did that one, if I stamp it again, you can't see too well, but there's a line right there. Let's do it again. Now, I don't want another full inking, so, oh well. Hopefully you guys get that. Oh my goodness. All right. Either way, the ink comes off the stamp when you straddle a thick piece of cardstock onto your paper, such that it leaves a line if you stamp it a second time with residual ink. And I hope that makes sense. And you can see that. That's what happened right there. It's very subtle, so it's not like a big deal. I'm just going to go over it with full inking to make it look like it's on purpose. That one I do with second inking. All right, so that's going to be the inside of my card. So I will need some adhesive on this to attach it. Just going to use some white glue because it's easy and fast. And it's not near the edges, so it's not going to ooze out or anything. And I got a kind of thin edge there. I've been doing a little bit less than the full 1/8 inch edge because I think it just gives a much more subtle look. That's what I like. Okay, let's work on the focal piece. Now I did use my Blends alcohol markers to do my coloring in, but I'm just going to do some parts of it so you can see what I did. And then I've got one that's finished that I'll show you. So I'm using Memento Black ink because I'm using my blends. You guys know I generally prefer the jet black stays on because it's so much sort of darker and crisper, but when you're using the blends, you have to use the Memento because the blends react with the stays on to some extent. All right, ink that baby up. All right, and this little image here, I don't want it to be floating up, so I'm going to kind of angle this a little bit and bring it down enough so that hopefully the stem will straddle the bottom of my paper. Now this is also the shimmery white cardstock, which is slightly off-white, and it's got a nice little shimmer to it. It's subtle. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but in person it's really pretty. So we got that. And then I'm also going to use another image from this set, this pretty, pretty little floral image. And that one, again, in my memento, or memento. And this one I did not use on the original one. Okay, you can see that. I just did the main flower, but when I was playing around with it, I kind of wanted to do a little bit more to sort of fill in the ground, if you will, to make it look more like a full garden. So I'm just, adding one on each side. Okay, what's next? Okay, coloring. Let's do some coloring. So I used a bunch of colors on this one. So I've got I have to remember, I think it's light balmy blue. No, this is dark balmy blue, actually. Okay, I am going to actually sit down so I can get up close to my piece. Hopefully you guys can see well enough. And I'm going to start by coloring the sort of tips of my flower. And I'm going to just show you the first one that I did. I actually did not use the balmy blue, and it turned out really dark. So I really wanted it to be a little bit lighter. So I think this version that I'm going to make is actually my preferred version. And then I've got my Misty Moonlight, of course, coordinates with the designer paper. And that's going to be the next color. And I'm just going to do sort of another row, if you will, of the color. And then last but not least, the dark Misty Moonlight. For right up there towards the center of the flower. And then I'm going to come back in with my balmy blue. And I'm going to actually color over where the two meet, because it looks too much like a line, right? This is where the blending comes in. I don't know about you guys, but before these Blends alcohol markers, I was not a coloring in fan. I just, took too much time and I didn't feel very good at it, and on and on. But I just love the blends. Just makes me feel like an artist, and I don't even think I'm a very good colorer inner. All right, so I'm going to use my color lifter just to add a little bit of texture in here. It's kind of subtle, but it also helps to blend and lighten a little. All right, let's do the top of this flower, and I'm going to do it all in, I have to remember, dark Daffodil Delight. So I just colored the whole thing in. And then I'm going to use a little bit of dark Calypso Coral. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is Cajun Craze, to give it sort of that brownish look that sometimes we see with daisies on the little whatever this thing is called. Who knows what that's called? Christy, I know you will know. I know you know flowers. Okay, so we got just a little bit more variety in that than in the original one. I'll show you the original one. Lighting's not so good. Let's see if I can fix that. And actually, you can kind of see the shimmer in this certain light. So anyway, you can see the difference between the light blue on the tips, whereas doing it with just the Misty Moonlight on that. Cornflower? Yeah, I think maybe you're right. All right. So anyway, so there we go at the top. And now I'm going to use my soft succulent, both the light and the dark, for my stems. And I did do some shading on these. And I'm just doing like little touches of the green. I'm not going to finish this because I'll be here all night long. And then the other thing I did was, for these, which make me think of magnolias, I did them in this dark Daffodil Delight. And then I brought in just a little bit of the Cajun Craze. Tiny bit of the dark near the center, and then a little bit of the light fanning out from there. And I think that just turned out to be so pretty. So there's the close-up of the individual parts and pieces that I've done. Let me show you the finished one. Yeah, here we go. I just think it turned out so pretty with that added pop of yellow and Cajun Craze. So there's my finished one. Probably would take me, oh, I don't know, quite a while to finish all the parts and pieces of this one. So, but I could have kept going and it would look like this. And I think it's so pretty. All right, next up, I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight and a piece of the Soft Succulent. This is going to be the base for my focal piece. And again, I'm going to use some of the liquid glue. Now, if you've ever used the blends, you know that they bleed through the back side of the paper. It's no big deal unless you plan on showing the back side of the paper. So that's just what they do. So you know what to expect. Okay, and on to my Soft Succulent. All right, I turn that over, just press down. Now this has dimensionals on the back side. Backings are already off. And we're just going to put that right onto its backing. So it just, to me, it looks like a piece of framed art. Just love it. Love it, love it. Okay, a few more details here. So for my sentiment piece, I actually already stamped my sentiment piece, and I've got a big piece of Soft Succulent. That's going to be the frame around it. Now I'm going to tear around this piece. And what I recommend is to put just a little bit of adhesive on the back side of it and then just start tearing so you actually know how much of an edge you're going to get, right? Now this is not actually attached, I'm just pretty much showing you, but when you tear towards you, you end up seeing the insides of the fiber of the paper, which looks really pretty, especially if you sponge it. So I'm just going to keep tearing those around the outside edge, and by the magic of TV, I have one done. Yay. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit of layering. I've got a very thin piece of crumb cake cardstock and a little piece of this gorgeous, I think it's called Diamond Weave ribbon. This is also part of the Harvest Meadow Suite. And this piece is going to end up being just a little bit longer than my what the heck? Soft Succulent? Yeah, my Soft Succulent cardstock. Remembering everything. It's always such a challenge. I know I'm not alone. You guys can let me know. All right, so this little piece is going to get torn on the edge. I just tore off that little edge. And then I have to figure out my spacing. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. This is going to be hidden, so I can go ahead and put a glue dot on it, even though it's going to show on either side. But that's okay, because it's going to get hidden by the other layers. Just got to make sure I don't put it too far out, because this is far longer than I need it to be. All right, so I got that piece just sticking out a little bit off the edge. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Using my fingernails to get the little tear. It's the easiest way to do it. And I did one a little bit longer than the other, so I'll just pull it over so that it's a little more even. And then I'm just going to put my ribbon over the top. Again, with glue dots. And as long as I do it in the center portion that's going to be hidden with the sentiment, I'm going to be just fine with using those glue dots, even if they show through the weave. And I'm On my original, I showed some of the crumb cake, so I have to trim this off so that it actually isn't too long and doesn't cover up all of that little element that's sticking out the side. So there we go. And then, last but not least, more glue dots. I love my glue dots. Who else loves glue dots? I like to use glue dots. I like to layer my glue dots. You know, more than one layer makes it a little bit taller. They're such a convenient adhesive. And I'm going to center it. I've got a nice little edge on the top and the bottom, and out on the sides, and there we go. And this is just going to get attached right in the front. Guess what I'm going to use? Glue dots. Okay, let's do 3 of them. I almost hate to cover up those little baby flowers. Oh, that's a little painful. Oh no, can't cover it up there either. Dang. Do you guys ever have that conflict? Maybe it has to hang off the bottom. I might just have to hang it off the bottom. Okay, I'm going to do that just for now. It doesn't look quite right to me, but it's bugging me. I don't want to cover up my pretty flowers. Dang it. That's what I get for mixing it up. I could put the sentiment on the inside. All right, so now I'm going to put some dimensionals just on this side. I really just need it to be attached on that panel only. I don't want to put it to attach it here and here, otherwise my card will not open, and that would be a very sad thing. All right, so let's figure out my positioning. So as long as I put it close to the edge, I think I'm going to be just fine. I need you guys to tell me, what should I do with the dang sentiment so that it's not covering up those pretty flowers? Conflict. I'm watching. Attach at an angle on the top left. Okay, let's see how that looks. Thank you for the suggestion, Gail. Let's see. Oh no, my glue dot's stuck. Glue dot's stuck to the front. Okay, yes, I can get it off just fine. All right. It looks pretty just like that, doesn't it? No? I don't know that the angle's working for me. It is a spot. It is available, an available spot. What if I put it... So annoying. I'm not going to be able to decide because I could put it down there in the inside. Put it with the wheat. Oh, the wheat. Okay, good suggestion. Who said that? Patricia. Good idea, Patricia. Okay, so I need to find my wheat. Let's get the wheat in its position. And it needs to be low enough so that it's hidden in behind. Now, ooh, so maybe right there. There's an idea. Oh, this is a delicate little piece. Delicate, delicate. I want to cover the bottom, but I also don't want it to show out the top. So let's see. I think that's going to work. Yay. Going with it. I like it. Alternative. And we don't cover up my beautiful front. Oh, the word's showing on the inside, on the outside. I'm such a perfectionist. I can't help myself, guys. Let's just put it up a little bit more. Okay. Yay. All done. What do you guys think? I hope you guys like it. It's a little bit of labor, but it's just fun, you know. How can you go wrong with a fun fold? Love it. And then my other card here. So you guys using the hashtag? Anybody change their mind after seeing the projects? You still prefer either Pretty Pumpkins or Harvest Meadow? Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around, finish up. Let you guys be off for the evening. I'm back. Hello. All right. Ah. I hate that I miss all your comments as I'm busy, but I'll go back and read them. Oh, I'm so glad you like the cards, Christy. Thank you. And Laura Lee, thank you guys so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed the projects. I will have I'm going to actually do 2 blog posts for this instead of doing 1. It's always a lot when I do 2 projects to fit them all into one post, which is what I typically do. But this time I'm going to have a post that goes live on Saturday with the video on YouTube. And then the second post will be the pumpkin card on Monday. So, you know, if you want the supplies, all the supplies and stuff like that will be in the blog post. So, make sure to use the hashtags if you want to be entered in the prize. Make sure if you're interested in playing with me and other demonstrators on World Card Making Day on October 2nd, that you check out the details of the Maker's Mojo Creative Escape. If you're considering or just want to know about the starter kit and joining and getting a discount, an everyday discount on your Stampin' Up! Products, I hope you'll consider joining me for the event on the 19th, Sunday the 19th, 5 to 6:30 p.m. And those details were in my newsletter that went out yesterday. If you're not a newsletter subscriber, you know, message me and let me know you want to be a newsletter subscriber, and I'd be happy to add you to my newsletter. So I think that kind of wraps it up. I will be drawing a winner, the 2 winners, right, for the tutorial bundle and for either project, right? Hopefully I'll pick one person that prefers Harvest Meadow and the other that prefers the pumpkins. That would be ideal. And I will announce that in 2 weeks when I go live next time, which will be on September 23rd, so 2 weeks from now. I am going to do it as an event again, so hopefully it sounds like it was easy for people to find. So that will be out there, and I will probably have a sneak peek for the event as well. Got that all together, so watch for it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much, Gail. I'm glad you enjoyed the demonstration, and Angel. Yay! Thanks for joining me, everybody. Wouldn't be the same without you. It would just stink. You guys make it. Thanks for being here with me. Have a wonderful couple weeks, and we'll see you soon. Mwah! Bye.